Hey guys, I wanted to ask you guys where your value comes from. And I know for those who are like Christian, I think it's easy to be like Jesus, it's in God. Um, but I want us to really pray and ask the Lord where we're actually putting value. Because I honestly feel like the enemy can so easily plant lies in us that twists how we perceive ourselves or where we actually believe that value comes from, and you can see it in our lives, affecting the things we do and why we do them. And for me, like, God opened my eyes so much last week in this area. And so he dug deep. He dug real deep down to early childhood. Um, so growing up, I was, so I've always been chubby, but like when I was young, I was definitely obese. And so, like, doctors said that I needed to lose weight. And just in general, in Asian culture, like being skinny is so emphasized. So, like, always is just like, you need to lose weight, you need to lose weight. And just different ways and methods, and just telling me I need to lose weight. And the thing is, like, it was for health reasons, but I think the enemy planted a lot of lies and told me otherwise. Because I was so young, like, my little kid brain, this is how I understood it, and like I believed the lies too, is that that I wasn't enough. And so, like, as who I was, so I needed to lose weight. Like, I didn't have value until I lost weight. And I think the enemy gave evidence of that, and like he would be like, well, look at the attention that your parents give your younger sister and your older sister. Like, it's because they're skinny. Like, if you want to be loved, you need to be skinny. And so, like, I equated that, like, skinny equals you get love and attention, and that's your value. And that is just a lie from the enemy. And yeah, God was showing me that that is something I still believe to this day. Yeah, so it's just something that God is definitely pulling out those lies and trying to fill in truth. And one of the places that God has been giving me this truth is in Ezekiel 16. And besides, like, yeah, just like skinniness being like value, I don't know when it was, maybe it's just like cultural in general, but I also equate skinniness with beauty. And so this really hit home for me. So chapter 16 of Ezekiel, starting with verse 13, it says, "So you were adorned with gold and silver. Your clothes were of fine linen and costly fabric and embroidered cloth. Your food was honey, olive oil, and the finest flour. You became very beautiful and rose to be a queen. And your fame spread among the nations on account of your beauty, because the splendor I had given you made your beauty perfect, declares the sovereign Lord." So this is about Jerusalem, and just saying, like, before they were nothing, but God is the one who took them in and like poured so much into them and gave them value and gave them beauty. And so just to remind them where they came from. And so this is reminding me too that it's not, beauty isn't something that is achieved by a certain weight or image, and it's not something by like just what I do or can accomplish. It's what God puts in me. In continuing on, it says in verse 15, "But you trusted in your beauty and used your fame to become a prostitute. You lavished your favors on anyone who passed by, and your beauty became his." And then throughout the rest of that, it talks about how they gave up their fine jewelry and like embroidered clothes and the food to those idols to please them. Yeah. And so it's like God's given us so much that gives us value and makes us beautiful. But I think often like the enemy lies to us and tricks us. He deceives us that we don't see it as value. And so we're trying to get value from other places. We trade in that thing of actual value and give it to something that's and trade it for something counterfeit. So in this, like, she had all this beauty and fame, and yet she became a prostitute and like was looking for like that validation and value in like men she would sleep with, in these false idols. And it's like, you had it already, and then you gave it away for something counterfeit. And yeah, I just want to pray, that we ask God to reveal to us where is our value, and are we trading in the value that God has given us and continues to give us for something counterfeit, a false idol in our lives that's not God. And I know for me that was like, trying to be skinny, or just trying to find, just trying to find value in all the wrong places. I talked about it last episode, but like, yeah, in attention from guys, or my achievements in acting, or this or that. And it's just like, no, Natasha, that is not, like, God's given you these talents, but it's not just to try and get value from like being known by others and like this and that. Like, it's not about that. And the enemy's trying to deceive us and cause us to give away what's of real value. And it's what God puts into us. And all our value, honestly, is at the foot of the cross. Like, we were so valuable that God came down in the form of man and died for us. God died for us. That's how valuable we are to him. And so, yeah, I pray that God can open your eyes to anything you might be misplacing your value in, that he could free you from that he could pull out those lies and fill it in with truth, that we already have more than enough. We are infinitely valuable and treasured by him. Okay, thanks guys.